Harihi Om. Jai Guru. Madhya Hridaya Kashe Chidanandamayo Guru Udetu Satatam Samyak Ajnanatimira. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunmandi Divyai Savai Vedai Sankapadakramo Upanishadai Gayantayam Samadha Dhyanavasthitatkyatena Manasa Pashyantiyam Yogino Yashyantam Navidushura Shuragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Ata Ashtadashodhyayah Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. See, we will understand what is moksha and sannyasa, whether both are same or different, all these things, when we go further, maybe by verse 50 or something like that, it will be clear. So in the last two satsangs, we saw 7 topics selected by Krishna, and each topic is categorized into 3 times with reference to gunas. The last topic we discussed was sukham, 3 types of sukham. If you see, everything and every entity is governed by the 3 gunas. This was also discussed in the last, I think, the verse. Now we are going to see the guna-based divisions of karmas of human beings. So let us go to the verse 41. Brahmana Kshatriya Visham Shudranam Chaparantapa Karmani Pravibhaktani Swabhava Prabhavai Gunai Brahmana Kshatriya Visham Shudranam Chaparantapa Karmani Pravibhaktani Swabhava Prabhavai Gunai. So the activities of the 4 different, that is Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras are well divided on the basis of the qualities shaped by nature's gunas. See, Krishna has talked about the 2 main themes of Gita, which they are Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Already he has discussed in the earlier chapters and also in the beginning of the 18th chapter. But since they are very important, he summarizes them once again in the following verses. in the light of our gunas knowledge. That means the knowledge we have gained about gunas. So based on that, he is again talking about these two, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. See, for the efficient conduct of the human society or the life, multiple activities ranging from protection of food, various goods, service to public administration, education, research, medicine, treatment, and the like. For all these things, contribution from the people in every field is required. Krishna says you cannot contribute in every field because you do not have the capacity. And if you try to contribute in every field, there will be only confusion. So based on your guna or character, attitude or inclination, choose any field of work and do your best. Krishna divides the entire humanity in 4 types. We have seen this in 4th chapter, 13th verse, I think. Chaturvanyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagasa. So it starts like that particular sloka. So there itself we saw about the 4 types of, the varna. It is very interesting. It is based completely on gunas. That is, let me. If you take they say first type, there Sattva Guna is dominant, followed by Rajoguna, and then Tamoguna. This is the person of first type. He is relatively quiet, not very active, contemplative mind that he has got. And the second type is Rajoguna Pradhana, mainly Rajoguna. Next, Sattoguna, followed by Tamoguna. These people are also active. They are active people, but selfishly active. And the third one is Rajoguna dominant. Second one is the third one is Rajoguna dominant, but next is Tamoguna. In the second one, that is also Rajoguna Pradhana, but followed by Sattoguna, and third Tamoguna. This one, the third type, Rajoguna dominant, next is Tamoguna, and the last is Sattoguna. This is the third type. These people are also very active, but for self-gain. And the fourth one is Tamoguna Pradhana, and therefore they are minimum active, because Tamoguna is dominant. If it is dominant, they do not have discriminative power. They can't decide. Therefore, they take up unskilled activities. So this is the fourth type. So these 4 groups are called in Shastra as Guna Brahmanaha, Guna Kshatriyaha, Guna Vaishyaha, and Guna Sutraha. Actually, this is not caste system. Caste system is based on birth. That division is based on birth. But this is guna based. So Krishna is talking about this guna based division. And he says, it is better to choose a profession based on your aptitude. That is guna. So let us see the sloka. Brahmana kshatriya visham shudranam cha. There are 4 categories of people known as Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vishaha means Vaishya, and Sudraha. And for these 4 groups of people, Karmani Pravibhattani, 4 types of professions are allotted by the Vedas themselves. 4 types of fields of activity. Krishna says, karma means profession. Pravibhattani have been allotted by the Vedas. All 4 professions are equally sacred. We can't say one profession is superior, and therefore karmani pravibhattani, it is allotted. So there are 3 possibilities or norms for choosing a profession. One norm can be the profession that you love, in which you have got an inclination, an aptitude. And this is called guna-based choice of karma or profession. And the second norm is birth-based choice of profession. That is hereditary profession. If father is a businessman, in many businesses, the son also becomes a businessman. It happens. Similarly, politicians, doctors, and like that you can, lawyers, you can see. So it depends on the hereditary. And the third option, governed by money. Which profession pays me well? In which one I can earn more? This is the third option. But according to our tradition, they say the best norm is guna norm. That is guna-based selection. Going by swabhava. That is the best. Because the advantage is when I love what I do, I enjoy doing it. I put my whole heart and soul in the work. So Krishna says, Subhava Prabhavaihi Gunaihi, based on one's guna, character, which is Swabhava Prabhavaihi, which is born out of Prakriti, Swabhava. It is born out of Swabhava. It is Prakriti. Here the word Swabhava is Prakriti. Prabhava is that word, Prabhava, is born out of or based on guna. That is, the guna, they are born out of Prakriti or Maya. So based on that guna, karmas are allotted. And do that karma and be proud of whatever profession you take up. This is according to tradition or Vedas. Even though through any profession, we may earn money. That earning money is only an incidental byproduct. Spiritually, that is, from spiritual angle, we should look upon the first stage of life as a contribution to the society through any profession in which you are adept. And through this contribution, this very giving, that is through profession, should be looked upon as a worship. This is the thing that Krishna talks about. Worship of what? The Vishwarupa Ishvara. This is very important because in Vedic teaching, Bhagavan and the world are one and the same. Vishnu Sahasranam, first this thing itself, Viswam Vishnu. So Viswam and Vishnu, the world and God, they are same. That's what is talked about here. Bhagavan and the world are one and the same. So as we have seen in the 11th chapter, Bhagavan alone appears as the world. Therefore, our contribution through our profession to the creation is a form of offering to the Lord. So, Krishna said, Swabhava Prabhavai Gunaihi, based on the gunas, born of nature, based on the Prakriti, Karmani, Pravibhaktani, professions are categorized. And these professions are broadly classified into 4 types. Brahmana karma, Kshatriya karma, Vaishya karma, and Shudra karma. And what are those professions? Let us, we will see in detail one by one. So now we will take, what is that? Verse 42. Shamo dhamastabak shaucham kshantirarjavameva cha jnanam vijnanamastikhyam brahma karma swabhavajam. Shamo dhamastabak shaucham kshantirarjavameva cha jnanam vijnanamastikhyam brahma karma swabhavajam. So the mind control, sense control, austerity, purity, saucham, patience, straightforwardness, arjavam, jnanam, vijnanam, and faith. These are the duties of the Brahmanas born of nature. Krishna says, Brahmana karma is preservation and propagation of the scriptural wealth of our tradition. Especially the Vedic tradition has got a lot of scriptural wealth. Now, look at the definition of Brahmana karma. Brahmin's profession first requires samaha, means calmness of the mind. Many times we have seen Shamo, Damo and all these things. So this here, Samaha means calmness of the mind. Shantaha, a person who takes to Brahmana profession must practice Shanti, quietude. Then Damaha means sense control. He should not indulge in excessive sense pleasures. Then Tapaha. See, this Tapaha, earlier also we have seen, means an austere life in which the possessions are kept minimum. Comforts are kept minimum. Austere life, a simple life. Practicing this will become highly useful, especially when he chooses to pursue spiritual knowledge. Then Saucham, because this we know means purity. Then Shantihi. When a person leads an austere life, naturally physical comforts will be less. Therefore, Shantihi means physical and mental preparedness, readiness to withstand external discomfort, to withstand, for example, heat, cold, to withstand humidity, sweat, and all these things. Then Arjavam. A Brahmana has to follow a life of integrity. That is, Vak, Kaya, and mind, Manas, should be in one line. In 13th chapter, we have seen this. Amanatam, Madambittam, Ahimsa, Shanti, Arjava. So straightforwardness. We can't keep something in mind and then talk differently. So straightforwardness. Then Jnanam. This is very important for this profession, since the profession is to preserve and propagate this scriptural knowledge, scriptural wealth of Vedic society. He has to go on learning. Otherwise, he can't teach, latest things and all. So, a Brahmana has to dedicate his entire life for this. That is Jnanam and the teaching of whatever he has learned. He should learn the material sciences also, or Aparavidya. He should be an expert in Paravidya also, both. Therefore, Vijnanam means experiencing Atma Jnanam. So, Jnanam, Vijnanam. Jnanam is knowledge which we gain. Putting it to use practically is Vijnanam. Then Astikyam. Astikyam means faith in the Veda as a means of knowing the spiritual world. There are two types of knowledge. One is Pratyaksha Pramana. That is the fivefold sense organs. This Pratyaksha Pramana, the fivefold sense organs reveal the material world, and the Veda in the second Pramana, instrument, that is, which will reveal the spiritual world. Pratyaksha, whatever we directly perceive, can never reveal the truth of suprasensuous world, because our sense organs do not have access to that. Veda is the sixth sense organs, which reveals a totally different field, which is non-material field. We call it spiritual field. The Brahmana is one who accepts Veda, the sixth sense organ. And the one who uses the sixth sense organ, the Veda, is called Astika. And he has to teach to the humanity that by accepting the sixth sense organ, that is the Veda, I am going to be very beneficiary. A Brahmana has to be an Astika. He has to convert the society into Astika. And how should he do that? There is only one method. Always something comes in between. Okay. By making use of the Vedas personally, that is studying, what happens is personality must be transformed to such an extent that the society should wonder what is the secret of his peace, what is the secret of his contentment, all these things. So by seeing that, they must get interest in understanding Veda. All the materialistic people are struggling in the society, caught up in rat race. They are rich already, but without peace of mind. But here is a Brahmana, he does not possess anything. So a Brahmana should become a model for the society to teach that peace and happiness are possible without external things. Therefore, Astikyam is very, very important. This is Brahmana profession. A professional Brahmana should follow these things always. How should he then earn his livelihood? When he shares his wisdom, the society is supposed to protect him by providing whatever he needs, and whatever society gives, he should be happy with that. So Krishna says, Subhavajam. One should be naturally interested in that. So in those days we have seen, that's why in most of the slokas this will come, we have to protect the Pasu, Brahmana and all, because these people, they don't have any profession earning money. So they do for this society's sake, they learn and then teach. So in those days, now we will see when we come to Kshatriya, they used to protect them in the sense by giving whatever is required by these people. So let us see what is talked about next No, no, the Varna. 43 verse. Shauryam tejo tritikdakshyam yuddhe chapyapalayanam danameswara bhavascha kshatram karma swabhavajam. Shauryam tejo tritikdakshyam yuddhe chapyapalayanam danameswara bhavascha kshatram karma swabhavajam. So now about the Kshatriyas. Heroism, power, will, resourcefulness, not running away in battle, generosity, and leadership. These are the duties of the Kshatriyas, born of their nature. Krishna says, he talks about, the points describing the duties of Kshatriya. He says, Shauryam, Tejo, Dhritigdakshyam. So, Kshatriya means a ruler, king, or a soldier who has to maintain the law and order of the society. And he has to protect dharma. And he has to punish the adharmic people. And if required, he should be ready for entering the battlefield also. Naturally, he must be a man of courage, dhairyam. He should have shauryam. Shauryam means courage, heroism, valor. He must be there. All these shauryam and the valor, what we call valor, must be there for Kshatriya profession. In fact, that is the main thing, because he has to protect the society. Tejaha, that is, he should not be overwhelmed by the strength of the enemy. That means not being cowed down upon. The capacity to overpower the enemy. This is Tejaha, power. Dhriti means perseverance. Dhriti, that is willpower. All these we have seen earlier. 3 types of willpower and all these things. Then dakshyam, resourcefulness. That is the capacity to take quick decisions. So you must be able to take quick decisions, what is to be, where to move and all, especially in the battlefield. So I should have the resourcefulness to take quick decision. That is called dakshyam. Yuddhe chapya palayanam cha api palayanam, not running away from the battlefield. Before entering the battlefield, he should think well. But once he has entered, he should not fight it. He should rather fight it out completely. And even if death comes, he should welcome it. Krishna is teaching in the battlefield to Arjuna. And Arjuna is initially about to run away. And therefore, Krishna is here taunting Arjuna. Running away from the battlefield is never befitting a Kshatriya. Yuddhacha api apalayanam. Then Dhanam, a Kshatriya, a ruler or soldier, has to give grants to deserving people. That is, all the artists are patronized by the king, especially in the olden days. And similarly, scientists, brahmanas who do not have any earning. Kshatriya has to promote all sciences, arts, culture, everything, and therefore Dhanam is very essential. Then Ishvara Bhava means leadership. To be in the forefront. So he should be in the forefront and lead. Whatever situation comes, he must have the magnetic personality. Even physically, he should have that imposing personality. Therefore, Ishvara Bhava means leadership qualities. And Swabhavajam, he is born based on his Swabhava or character. If the personality is not there, then what is the use of giving all weapons to him? He should have the tendency. So, Swabhavajam. This is Kshatriya Karma. Then we will see Vaishya Sudra Karma. Verse 44. Krishi Ghaurakshavanijyam Vaishyakarma Swabhavajam Paricharyatmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam Krishi Ghaurakshavanijyam Vaishyakarma Swabhavajam Paricharyatmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam. Agriculture, animal husbandry, and trade. These form the natural activities of a Vaishya. Service to others is a natural pursuit of a Shudra. Is the direct meaning of the verse. Vaishya profession is commerce or business. So, distribution of materials. Whether you take a factory or whether you take a farm, all things are not produced in one and the same place. It comes from different places. Different things are produced in different places. So naturally, we require distribution of all the products. And that person in that profession is Vaishya Karma. So he acquires all the products and distributes. Krishi means agriculture. We can include industry also. Because that is also production oriented. Then Gauraksham means cattle driving, because that was important in those days. Cattle played an important role in economy in those days. Even now it is very important. So Gauraksham is the Next to this one. Then Manijyam means commerce or business or even exchange. All these are Vaishya Karma. That means taking care of economic well-being. Kshatriya Karma is defense. Vaishya Karma is economy. There are people who do not have leadership qualities. They cannot lead. They can only follow. Again, based on their, guna. They will do very nicely what they are told to do. So they are the unskilled people and they are called Sudraha by character, that is by gunas. That Shudra guna, whoever has got, since he does not have that leadership, let him serve the other three groups of people. Either do service to a Brahmana in his Brahmana profession when he does big yaga, he requires assistance. So be an assistant, or be an assistant to Kshatriya, or be an assistant to Vaishya. That is Shudra Karma. This is Paricharya. Paricharya means service in which decision making is not involved. Therefore, you take to service, that is Paricharyatmikam karma, Shudra, Shya, Swabhava, and the Swabhavajam karma. And what is the most important thing to be noted in all the four professions are actually all professions are equally important for the society. Absolutely no doubt. Once you have learned a profession, the next stage is what? Converting that occupation or profession into a form of worship. We are coming there only. And therefore, your puja is not just a half an hour a day, but entire working hours. It is a continuous puja. And if you work overtime, you are doing extra puja. And if your profession has to be converted into a worship, there must be a transformation where in the attitude, in our attitude, converting your occupation into puja, a transformation in the attitude. And what is that attitudinal transformation? Krishna says, "Hey Arjuna, I will teach you." In fact, Krishna is, of course, a great teacher. So he is going to teach Arjuna how it is to be done in the following verses. Time, Durga. Okay. So last time people wanted some time for discussion. It is correct. So if up to this we have seen now all the four karma, that means of the four types of professions. So we have seen, and next we will go in detail how performing activities, one's own activities, he attains spiritual fruition. Krishna is going to explain. Before that, we will have any discussion is required, we can have. See, all these gunas and how various, all these topics are divided into three. it is divided. We will know when we go further, when we go to 47, 48 and all, it's all required. One should understand for liberation, for moksha, it is helpful, all these things. So, all one by one, in fact, we see what we saw. See, these last 6 chapters are for Jnana Yoga. In 12th chapter, it talked about the Bhakti Yoga, what it is really. Then 13th, we saw the what is the world and who is a seer of the world, what it consists and who is the seer of the world. Then in 14th, we saw in detail about the gunas. And 15th, we saw what is the Purushottama. Finally, Purushottama is nothing but the self. That also we saw. And 16th and 17th, the application of the gunas in various topics. We saw 16th and 17th, and it continues in 18 up to this. Now we will see further how these things help in various, especially in moksha. What is the connection between moksha and this sort of understanding of these gunas? And then we will quickly see 45. It's introduction for further this one. Sve sve karmanya birata samsiddhim labhate narah swakarma niratak siddhim yadha vindati tatsruno sve sve karmanya birata samsiddhim labhate narah swakarma niratak siddhim yadha vindati tatsruno. Performing attentively one's own activity, man attains spiritual fruition. Krishna says, listen as to how one engaged in his own duty reaches perfection. How is it possible? Doing activity alone. Earlier we saw activities is done as a puja to the world. If it is dedicated to God, means God is the world. There is no difference. That's what we saw. So whatever is done to the world, it is done to God. Sve sve karmanya birataha. In your own profession, once you have chosen a profession, do not go on changing it, because you develop skill and excellence in any field. So it is possible only by a long practice. If you go on changing, it becomes rather difficult. So choose a profession and thereafter continue in that. And your aim is to excel in that field. And therefore Krishna says, Sve Sve Karmani, in one's own chosen profession, Abhirataha, one should learn to be fully involved, fully dedicated, do more and more research in improving the quality. And therefore, in any field, you can try to put your heart and soul. That is the meaning of the word Abhirata. Samsiddhim labhathe naraha. By changing the attitude and by doing it properly, you can gradually grow spiritually. Even the most worldly activities can contribute to inner growth. If it is properly handled, that's why the samsiddhi means chitta suddhi. That is purity of mind. Or to put in spiritual language, jnana yogyata, or more and more interest in spiritual knowledge. Once the chitta suddhi, purity of the mind happens, we get more interest in spiritual knowledge. That is the indication of successful karma yoga. Naraha means being, human being. Samsiddhim labhate. So he reaches that purity level. And how to achieve it? Swakarma niratah siddhim yata vindati tashrunu. So he says in the next verses which follow, I will teach you how karma will produce chitta suddhi. That's what Krishna says. How remaining in the worldly action, you can attain chitta suddhi. This I shall teach you in the next few verses. Tashrunu. Listen to that carefully. So this conversion of karma into karma yoga, that is talked about in the next few verses. So we will stop here because next verse, quite a lot of discussion is required. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vishishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.